Aries, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Aries love reading. Now, if this is your first time here and you have questions that you want answered about your romantic love life or your relationship, then start now by subscribing and clicking on that little bell icon so you always get notified anytime I post a new Aries tarot reading for you. Now, let's get on with this Aries love reading for May 2023, because today we are going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. I'm going to do that by getting one card to represent the mutual point of interest between the two of you here in May 2023. Then I'm going to get 3 cards for you, Aries, 3 cards for your person, and then I'm going to clarify everything with the second deck, just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really going on in this love connection of yours. Now, I do want to say, because I've been getting a lot of comments, YouTube is pushing my videos out to a lot of new people that typically don't watch me here suddenly. So I'm getting a lot of comments from cross-watchers specifically, kind of flaming me in the comments, letting me know how wrong I am and how I have everything backwards. So I just want to make it abundantly clear, this is a reading for Aries people about the connection that Aries people are in with their person of interest and what's going on between the two of them. So if you're not an Aries person, that means you're a cross-watcher. I'm totally fine if you're watching this reading because you have the hots for an Aries and you're trying to get some insight on what's going on between the two of you. I have no problem with that. But what you have to understand is if you're a cross-watcher, that means the energies are very likely to be flipped around backwards for you when in my readings. So if I'm talking to Aries about their person, take it backwards if you're a cross-watcher, and really take it as if I'm talking to you about Aries. So just want to make that abundantly clear. If you're an Aries, you can completely disregard what I just said, but I'm tired of getting flamed in the comments from cross-watchers that don't really understand how tarot works, and they're, screaming at me about how terrible I am and how wrong I am on everything, which not really the case. They just don't understand what cross-watching is. But I'm getting off the soapbox. Let's get on with this Aries love reading for May 2023. What is the mutual point of interest between Aries and their romantic person of interest here in May 2023? Pretty easy. Let's get 3 for you, Aries. What is going on with Aries' romantic person of interest as it relates to Aries and the connection between the two of them here in May 2023? Get 2 more for Aries, please. Thank you. What's going on with your person, Aries? What's going on with Aries' romantic person of interest? Oh. Feels like they got a lot to talk about. That felt like a freaking explosion in my hand right there. I feel like if I shuffle through one more time, I'm probably going to get 6 or 7 more cards out, and I don't want to turn this into a giant long ordeal for you here. So we're just going to leave it at that. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading is the 5 of Wands. This is Leo energy. 5s are conflict, and Wands are about passion and desire. So this represents a conflict in passion and desire, like an internal conflict where a piece of one of you wants one thing and another piece of you wants pretty much the opposite of that. So there's this internal battle going on inside of what it is that you desire, like playing tug of war in terms of what you want, going in multiple different directions at the same time. Now, because this is the overall energy, it's entirely possible that one of you has an internal conflict. It's also entirely possible that there's an internal conflict between the two of you where this person's pulling one way and you're pulling the other way, and there's this tug of war match going on between the two of you because you both kind of want different things. Right under this 5 of Wands, I have the Knight of Cups. Knights are action takers, and cups are about love and emotions. So this would represent actions toward love and emotions, moving forward with romantic offers, romantic gestures, trying to move forward in a love offer or advance a love connection in some way. Possibly an internal conflict about whether or not to do that. I have the Ace of Pentacles right under that. Now, this is the seed of abundance. This is the seed that has the potential to grow into the 10 of Pentacles that we all want. The 10 of Pentacles would be like maximum stability and abundance and prosperity, like that happy, stable home life where no one wants for anything. Ten of Pentacles would be like the combining together of two people or two families and all their assets and resources into one, like building a life together. This is not that in and of itself, but it's something that has the potential to get there. It represents a physical, tangible, real-world opportunity presenting itself. But like any ace, this is something that you have to grab and actually do something with it. It's just an opportunity. So if you don't use the opportunity, if you don't take advantage of it and do something with it, it just represents empty potential. Looks like we have some sort of physical opportunity here, potentially to move forward in a love offer or a love connection here, an internal conflict about whether to do that. And underlying all of that is the Six of Cups, which is Scorpio energy of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about like the good old days and the way things used to be. This can also represent a very deep emotional connection between two people. It can even represent someone from the past making a comeback here. We are in Mercury retrograde right now. I've been getting this card in a lot of readings, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that you guys used to be together at some point, and now we're revisiting something from the past, and maybe someone's presenting an opportunity to be together currently when you were at some point in the past, and there's an internal conflict about it. Not 100% sure yet. I just know this is the general gist of what this reading is going to talk to me about. We'll probably have to come back to that more as we move along. The mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in some way here in May 2023. It doesn't always affect you both exactly the same way. Sometimes it's a case of they did something and now you're feeling this way, or vice versa. Or sometimes they did this and now you're feeling the ramifications of it. Once in a while, it's actually an external thing that's going on that's affecting both of you. But the mutual point of interest between the two of you here in May 2023, Aries, is the Knight of Wands. Again, Knights are action takers. Wands are about passion and desire. This is the second fastest moving Knight in the deck. So this is about rushing forward and taking some rapid, passionate action on something there's passion and desire for. This can sometimes be like a really wishy-washy, in and out, back and forth kind of an energy here. It can be non-committal in the sense of someone can't stay fully committed to what it is that they say they want. Like they'll start taking actions on what they say they want. They'll probably even come in all like gung-ho and ready to move forward super quick, but then something will happen to make them pull back and change their mind and go in a different direction. Sometimes this gets referred to as the player of the tarot deck. It can be someone who comes rushing in all passionately and gets what they want, but then they rush out all passionately somewhere else and get what they want there too, and then they try to come back and forth playing both sides of the fence. So it can definitely represent player energy. It can just represent that things started moving super fast and then whoop, there was this like, let's pull back here, maybe because there's an internal conflict. I do have two Knights here though, both action takers. Actions toward love and emotions, actions toward passion and desire. So let's take a look at this and clarify that and see what else we can find out. What is going on with this Knight of Wands, please? Why is that the shared energy that's affecting Aries and their person? Okay. Yeah, well. On the bottom of the deck, King of Pentacles. This is either Taurus or Virgo energy. This is, we alluded to it when we saw this Ace of Pentacles here, the Ten of Pentacles. This is one half of the equation that builds the Ten of Pentacles. He works together as equals with the Queen of Pentacles, so they build and manage that Ten of Pentacles energy together. This is usually like a husband figure or the stable, committed person that, excuse me, that I'm building my life with. That kind of an energy. In terms of like describing the person, this would be someone who might be a business owner or work for themselves, like might be an independent contractor or run a business or be a manager in a business, have some sort of like authority role in a business. This is usually the kind of person that can build empires or that has their finances and their physical assets and resources pretty well in order here. Yeah, right under that, there's that Ten of Pentacles I was talking about. So again, maximum stability and abundance. Looks like we got somebody that's pretty okay financially right here. This is also, like I said, the combining together of two people or two families and all their assets and resources. This would be like building a life together. Like I said, he works together as equals with the Queen of Pentacles to build this. So this would be like living together or being married, or at least going down the path of actually combining lives together in the physical sense. But underlying that, we've got the Nine of Swords here, which is Gemini energy of fear and worry and anxiety and thinking about something over and over again with all this fear and worry behind the thoughts, and doing that to the point that it starts to become physically stressful. This is a card of mental anguish. This can be sleepless nights, nightmares, like I can't fall asleep, I can't stay asleep, I can't concentrate on what I'm doing throughout the day because my mind is running on its own basically, and it's like, it's making me worried and stressed. You can see the person on the card has their face buried in their hands. They've got their eyes covered because the situation in their mind is so bad that they don't want to face the situation that they're in. Looks like it's something to do with a final decision being made. I have Judgment next. This is a very powerful major arcana card about a final decision. In a relationship reading, love reading, this is usually a final decision about the relationship itself. It's usually a decision of, are we going to call this dead and over with? Or can we resurrect this? Can we bring it back to life and transform it in a way that's never going to be this mentally and psychologically painful way again here? So it's looking like there's some sort of decision that's being worried about here. And if I had to lay money on the table and make a bet right now, I would bet that it's this person that has the actual decision to make. And I would also say that they're probably completely undecided, and 1 minute they want one thing and the next minute they want pretty much the opposite, which is probably why I'm seeing this Five of Wands as the overall energy. Now, when I clarify this Knight of Wands, I get the Seven of Cups, the Five of Wands again, the Five of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. Seven of Cups is more Scorpio energy. This represents options and choices, but confusion about the options and choices. There's a lot of different cups here, a lot of different stuff in these cups. There's a lot of different choices that could be made, a lot of different ways this situation could play itself out. And neither one of you are wanting to make a mistake and pick the wrong thing here. But this clouds of smoke that are all around the cups represent obscured vision, clouded judgment, confusion emotionally here. Like there's something going on where you're not fully able to see everything that's in front of you, and you're not wanting to make some kind of a mistake and pick the wrong thing. And that seems to apply to both of you for some reason. Next, I've got the Five of Wands, which again is the overall energy of the reading. Fives are conflict. This is a conflict in the desires, an internal conflict. I'm seeing that energy quite a bit here. This is someone who wants one thing, but at the same time, they want something completely different than that. And they're playing this internal tug of war match inside what it is that they want. Again, that could apply, like maybe that's your person that's conflicted like that. Maybe it's you that's conflicted like that. Maybe it's both of you that are conflicted like that, or it's entirely possible that they want one thing and you want the opposite of that, and you're kind of pulling against each other instead of pulling in the same direction. Next, I have the Five of Cups, which is more Scorpio energy. This is sadness and remorse about the past. It's about, at its core, being focused on the wrong thing. Like that's what this card's really about. Like where a person's focus goes will literally determine the emotions they experience. So in this card, this person is focused on these three cups that have been spilled, all the love and emotions that have been spilled and wasted, all the time, effort, and energy that got spilled and wasted. There is still two upright, completely full cups in the background behind them, but that's not where their focus is. This can represent that there is still a connection between the two of you. It just doesn't have the full focus. It is the Two of Cups in the background, and twos are choices. So there could be another person that there is a choice about in the background here, and that could be why the cups between the two of you were spilled out at some point. But this represents someone having their focus on either the past and feeling the past, or being focused on something that they've lost and feeling that loss, or being focused on something that they believe is missing from their life and then feeling that gap in their life. So some sort of an emotional conflict here where there's sadness and remorse and potential like guilt feelings related to that. The final clarifier for this Knight of Wands is the Queen of Wands. This is either Aries or Leo energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person who knows exactly what she wants. This is not someone who takes no for an answer. This is not someone who lets little minor obstacles and challenges get in her way. This is the kind of person that's going to get what she wants. She's going to figure out a way to get what she wants. Now, it is also someone who doesn't just know what they want. It's someone who knows what they deserve and what they're worth. And she usually will not accept less than what she deserves and what she's worth. I will admit, I don't fully understand what this is trying to tell us yet, which is not uncommon at all at this stage in the reading. We're at the very early end of this right now. So I usually don't fully get this until I start going through your energy Aries, and then I'll be able to see how it applies to you. I come back to it again as I go through your person's energy, because then I can see how it applies to them. But that is the shared energy affecting you both here in May 2023. Aries, your energy in this connection is the Lovers, the Page of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. The Lovers is Gemini's major arcana card. This is a powerful love connection between two people. I know a lot of readers will try to tell you that bullshit story that this means you're twin flames, or, you know, this is the universe saying that you are supposed to be with this person. That is not what this card means at all, and I'm so sick and tired of hearing readers talk about that. I'm so sick and tired of seeing comments from people about, oh, this person treats me like absolute dog shit, and they abuse me, and they cheat on me, and they're constantly in and out of my life and taking advantage of me. But they're my twin flame because some other reader said they're my twin flame, and now I just have to put up with all this because I'm supposed to be with them. And that's not what this card means. That's not what this card has ever meant. The whole twin flame concept didn't even get concocted until the 1970s. And that was made up by some lady who was, guess what, selling books and courses, and she needed people to believe in that concept of twin flames in order to get them to buy her crap. The tarot, like the Rider-Waite tarot deck, was published for the first time in 1909, so there's no possible way that a concept that didn't even exist until the 1970s has any correlation with the meaning of a deck that was created in 1909. So, I'm getting off the soapbox now, but I just feel it's incredibly important to put this out there because there are so many readers that are doing twin flame readings and convincing people that this person's your twin flame and you should put up with everything that they do to you because you're supposed to be together, when it's complete and utter bullshit. And that does more to hurt people and keep people stuck in toxic relationships and painful situations that they don't really need to be in, because it's not true. Anyway, a long time ago, before this card was even called the Lovers, it didn't used to be called the Twin Flames. It used to be called the Choice. So at its core, this card is really about the interconnectedness between human beings. So when you're in a relationship with somebody, you can't make choices and take actions on those choices without it affecting the other person, and vice versa. They can't make choices without it affecting you. But that goes for humanity as a whole. Like, we can't pollute the environment without it affecting all of us. We can't, like, wreck the economy without it affecting all of us. Like, we're all interconnected, so our choices don't just affect us, they affect everyone. This can also represent a choice in the love connection itself, or a choice between more than one lover. So let's clarify this and find out what else we can see here. Tell me more about the Lovers. Why is that the very first card here for Aries in this love connection? Okay, we got quite a bit to talk about, it would appear. I see. On the bottom of the deck, Four of Swords. This is Libra energy. Fours are about stability, and swords are about the thoughts and the mind. So this is like trying to stabilize the thoughts, trying to stabilize the mind. I did see that Nine of Swords, which is mental anguish. It's your mind being out of control and like grinding on something with all this fear and worry behind whatever it is you're thinking about. This is probably advice related to that, suggesting that you stabilize your thoughts, stabilize your mind, calm yourself down. This is a card of healing. It's about taking a pause. It's about taking a break, taking a rest, about going inside yourself to calm your mind down so you can figure out what to do moving forward from here. Now, since we are talking about a love connection here and potentially a choice in the connection or a choice between more than one person, this can represent taking a pause or taking a break in the connection itself, as in we're on a break right now. I know like there are plenty of people that they will be in a breakup, but they don't want to officially label it a breakup, so they just say things like, well, we're taking a break. And a lot of times when somebody is, quote, taking a break, that gives them a, free pass to do whatever the hell they want. So that could be potentially what's going on here. Yeah, because during this break period, we've got this Knight of Cups energy here. Actions toward love and emotions, moving forward in that. And I've got that same exact energy right here behind the internal conflict here. So looking like there might be an internal conflict about who to move forward with. 10 of Cups in the background of all of that. This is Pisces energy. We've alluded to and even seen the 10 of Pentacles. That's most people's goal in the physical reality. The 10 of Cups is most people's goal in terms of love and emotions and relationships. That's that happily ever after energy. It's like that happy fairy tale love connection we all want. That happy fairy tale ending that we all want. This would be two people that are emotionally happy and content in and of themselves, coming together into union and pouring all their love into each other and being together and fully happy and fully in love. This is what almost everyone wants. Which brings us to the negative aspect of this card. All of these cards have a positive and a negative aspect. What very few readers will tell you is the negative aspect of the 10 of Cups can be that fairy tale piece of it. We all want that fairy tale love connection so badly that a lot of times we'll convince ourselves that the relationship I'm in is that 10 of Cups because we just want it that badly, which will cause us to ignore red flags and sweep things under the rug and like ignore bad behavior and stupid decisions that a person makes that affect us, because if we believe that stuff to be true, then that automatically discredits this, and none of us want to believe that. We all want to believe our connection is that happy fairy tale ending, which can sometimes get us into a little bit of trouble. 8 of Wands is right behind that. This is Sagittarius energy. This is the second fastest moving energy in the deck. It's a very fast forward movement on something that there's passion and desire for. It can represent rapid back and forth passionate communication. This can represent travel. It can even represent that there's just a whole lot of energy coming at you all at one time, where it's like it's almost too much to process, too much to handle. It can feel incredibly overwhelming because it's just so much all at once. Now, when I clarify the lovers, I get the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords, the 6 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. Way too many swords right here for my taste. This Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight in the deck. We've got the second fastest knight in the deck here with this Knight of Wands as the shared energy. We just got done taking a look at the 8 of Wands, the second fastest overall energy in the deck. So out of the 4 fastest energies in tarot, I have 3 of them right here. The only one I'm missing right now is the fastest one, which is the Chariot. This Knight of Swords, this is about rushing forward and taking some rapid, very decisive action on something. This is the kind of person that comes rushing in super fast and does it, and then they're out. This is not the kind of person who comes rushing in super fast and then sits down to read the instruction manual and figure out what to do. This ain't the person that comes rushing in super fast to do something but then stops to think about it first. This is the person that just does it and then they're out. They don't think about it beforehand. They don't think about it while they're doing it. They don't bother to think about it until after it's already done and it's too late to do anything about it. A lot of times this will get referred to as the narcissist of the tarot deck. Usually it's one of these 2 cards that will get referred to as the narcissist, and I've got both of them right back to back. So that's not looking like a positive sign, and I'm getting way ahead of myself, but central to your person's energy is that Page of Swords. Well, it is looking like we've got some sort of a choice about the love connection, or potentially a choice between lovers, because somebody rushed off and did something really spur of the moment, spontaneous and impulsively, and didn't think about it first. And it's probably showing up on your side as your first card which is always going to be the most important card for a person, but it's showing up over here probably because what they did has affected you so strongly. This Page of Swords, pages are messengers, so this is news and messages and communications, but it's also an energy of someone who's trying to learn something or trying to figure something out. So sometimes this can represent somebody doing some snooping around, doing some digging, doing some spying on somebody, doing their due diligence, trying to uncover information or figure something out here. So this can be scoping out their social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, things like that, trying to figure out what's going on with them. It could be asking people about them, driving past where they live or where they work, trying to kind of snoop and see what's going on. Sometimes this is information that you uncover accidentally. Like I've totally seen it before where guy's doing something he shouldn't be doing, but he gets up to go to the kitchen to get something to drink and leaves his phone laying on the couch right next to the lady, and bling, a message comes in and she sees it. Could represent something like that. You could be looking through paperwork and boom, something falls on the floor and you pick it up and ta-da, now you've uncovered something that they didn't want you to know about. This can even represent some external person that has seen something and has come and reported it to you, potentially about some actions that they took or some choice between more than one lover now. Can represent a lot of things. Hell, what we're doing here with tarot, with me being nosy and getting into what's going on in the energies behind the two of you, that would actually qualify as this Page of Swords. Excuse me, yeah, Page of Swords. Next, to clarify the lovers, we have the Six of Wands. This is Leo energy of recognition. So this is either you being recognized for something, or much more likely you coming to some sort of a recognition yourself, that recognition allowing forward movement to happen. When I'm clarifying the lovers, and I've got this really abrupt, spur of the moment, like impulsive type action taking going on, and potentially communications going on during a time when we're in a break, or maybe this caused a break. Man, this is really looking like somebody saw something, or somebody told you something, or you figured something out that allowed you to recognize what was actually going on. It looks like what you recognized is the Seven of Swords. Aquarius energy. This is lying, cheating, deception, sneaking around behind someone's back, trying to get away with something like that they shouldn't be trying to get away with. Now, that's not the only meaning of this card, so I'm going to give you the other ones and you take it how it resonates for you. The other meaning to this can be self-preservation, as in, I don't want to be hurt, which is why the dude on the card is stealing these Five Swords. The Five of Swords represents a mentally and psychologically painful situation or a betrayal of some kind. He's stealing the Five Swords because he doesn't want to be hurt. He doesn't want those swords to be used against him, so he steals them to make sure that he can't get hurt by them. It can also represent leaving something behind, because he can only carry 5 of the 7 swords and he has to leave the other 2 swords behind. So it can represent leaving something behind here. Honestly, it's looking like something sneaky was going on that probably shouldn't have been going on, and this has been uncovered in some way. It's probable that your person was being a player, had other options, was internally conflicted about what to do, their desires pulling them in 2 different directions. There's a lot of passion and desire. This would be someone that someone has like a lot of passion and desire and attraction to, like sexual energy toward, and ultimately in the center of all of that is this energy of like sadness and remorse and probably regrets about something that I did. Central to your energy here in May 2023, Aries, we have the Page of Cups. Again, news, messages, communications, this time about love and emotions. This would be expressing feelings. This would be like lovey-dovey messages going back and forth, communicating about how I feel about something. This can represent an apology. This can also represent being at the early stages of some sort of a love offer here. We've seen that Knight of Cups a couple of times here. This is the stage of like doing something about the love offer. And here we're more at the stage of like, let's just talking about it and not actually up to the point of doing something about it. So tell me more about this Page of Cups, please. Why is that central to Aries energy here in May 2023? I just had the Page of Cups and the Emperor flip up in the deck and show themselves to me here. Didn't come out. They just wanted to be seen. on the bottom of the deck, Judgment. I've already seen this once. This is that final verdict and judgment being passed. Like I said, in a love reading, this is usually a final decision about the relationship itself. Is it dead and over? Sometimes this is about resurrecting it, bringing it back to life, bringing it back from the grave, transforming it in a way that it's never going to be the same again. So we could have a judgment being passed on this connection because things got uncovered, and then someone trying to get the opposite judgment of resurrecting it by apologizing. It could be that. It could be saying that uncovering these lovey-dovey messages here has caused a judgment. Nine of Swords right under that. This is, again, Gemini energy of fear, worry, anxiety, thinking about something over and over again with fear and worry behind the thoughts, and doing that to the point that it becomes physically stressful. This is mental anguish. This is not fun. This could be you passing a judgment on them and then at the same time being worried about it. I do see internal conflict out here that's affecting both of you. That Five of Wands, that internal conflict is out here in both decks already. And I've got this really back and forth, can't stay fully committed to what I say I want type of an energy that is shared between the two of you. Got that King of Pentacles behind it. That's twice I've seen that. This would represent the husband figure or the stable, committed person that I'm building my life with. This would typically be, and if I had the King and the Queen of Pentacles out here, I would probably say you guys live together or are married. I don't have that. I've only gotten one side of that equation so far. So that again is telling me that there is some separation between the two of you. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles right there. This is really looking like there was this, at a minimum, a stable connection between the two of you that was going down the path toward living together. The complete possibility that you actually did live together when something like this occurred, or were even married when something like this occurred. Now, when I clarify this Page of Cups, normally I get 3 clarifiers. Not super uncommon to get 4, but in this case I got 5, so I'm getting significantly more cards than I need to be getting here. I got the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, there's the Chariot that we were missing a minute ago, the Ace of Wands, and the Star. Knight of Pentacles. This is the slowest moving knight in the deck, so it's a stark contrast to all that super fast, like spontaneous type energy I've been seeing so far. This is like very slow energy. This is like one step at a time, not being in a hurry, just like one foot in front of the other. I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to skip steps on anything. I'm doing this exactly by the book, and we're going to make this very slow, steady progress on something. That story, The Tortoise and the Hare, this damn sure ain't the hare. This is the tortoise. This is that snail's pace. And a lot of times this energy can be incredibly frustrating. It usually indicates that there's something that you want to happen at a pretty rapid pace, but you're getting the snail's pace instead. So it's really frustrating to go through this kind of an energy. A lot of times it's incredibly hard to tell the difference between the Knight of Pentacles versus the Hanged Man. Like the Hanged Man, like they both feel really pretty much the same. In the Hanged Man, there is no progress happening whatsoever. Things are complete dead stop. And here there is progress being made. It's just happening so slow that from where you sit, you probably can't tell anything's happening. So it would be like trying to watch a flower grow. Like you could literally stare at that flower from the time you get up in the morning until the time you go to bed at night, and you're not going to see anything move whatsoever. It looks like the flower is not growing, but if you watch it on like the time-lapse camera and over several days of footage compressed down into a few minutes, you can actually see the flower starting to grow. So this is that kind of a really slow, frustrating energy. I've got right beside it that Knight of Swords. So very two opposite ends of the spectrum here, which kind of is going, and look, notice they're also not just one super fast and one super slow, but they're actually pulling in opposite directions of each other, which is, again, the overall energy of the reading, this internal conflict where there's this pulling in 2 different directions at the same time. That Five of Wands is already out here again in the clarifiers of the shared energy, and the mutual point of interest is that back and forth, can't stay fully committed to what I say I want, possible player type of an energy. King of Cups is next. This is either Scorpio or Pisces energy. This is a decision-making energy, and it's someone who, when they make their decisions, they're in touch with their emotions. They're in touch with their intuition when they decide things. This is also, though, someone who doesn't wear their heart on their sleeve. They don't like publicly broadcast how they feel about things. Like, this can be the kind of person that has a lot of love and emotions for you, but doesn't really express that. They don't tell you how they feel. They don't show you how they feel. Like, this could be the kind of person that's madly in love with you and you would have no idea. Likewise, it could be the kind of person, like, notice how rough and choppy the waters are at his feet here. So this can be the kind of person who's going through some rough, choppy emotions, like emotional turmoil, and you would never know by looking at him or by sitting on the couch next to him, because they got one hell of a poker face. They don't publicly broadcast how they feel about things or what's going on with them necessarily. Which could be why it's sitting right here next to this Page of Swords, like trying to figure out what in the world is going on with this person. Next I have the Chariot, which is the fastest moving energy in the deck. I alluded to that when we saw the Eight of Wands, the second fastest, this Knight of Swords, the third fastest, and this Knight of Wands, the fourth fastest. So I've literally seen the four fastest energies in tarot already, and that's being like starkly contrasted here with this slowest moving knight in the whole deck. The Chariot at its core is about using the will to move forward past problems and challenges and obstacles and like things that are in the way. It's like overcoming all of that stuff through sheer will alone and then moving forward very quickly in success and victory. This is either the fastest energy in the deck, or it is every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man, because the driver doesn't have any reins that connect into the beasts that pull this thing. So he powers this, he steers this through sheer will alone. So if the driver is not fully in alignment, in other words, if all pieces of himself aren't pulling in the same direction, this Chariot is not going to go anywhere, and it's going to be every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man. Or worse yet, the dark shadow side is going to pull one way, the light side is going to pull the opposite way, and it's going to tear itself in half as it tries to move forward. I see that same dynamic here over and over and over again, where there's some misalignment here, where either two parts of your person are pulling in different directions, or two parts of you are pulling in different directions, or you guys individually are pulling in different directions from each other. There's some sort of a recognition about that kind of a concept here, or some sort of a recognition about this really fast forward movement that happened. This can sometimes represent somebody just getting in the Chariot and getting the hell out of Dodge. Next, I have the Ace of Wands. This is a new beginning in passion and desire, a passionate new beginning. So this can represent someone sparking up a new passionate connection somewhere. This can sometimes represent trying to re-spark the passion and the desire, trying to re-spark the connection between the two of you. Could be that's what we're talking about. We're expressing feelings, we're talking about it, things are moving super slow. I don't really know how this person feels. I have love and emotions for them, but I don't know how they feel. Can we overcome this, or are we pulling in two different directions? There's this probably a desire at least to overcome what's in the way and re-spark this. It could just as easily be, though, because it's sitting right next to this Seven of Swords, that maybe we're going through a time where we're trying to get past problems and challenges. Maybe those problems were caused by sneaky, deceptive, sneaking around behind your back kind of behavior and following the wand, so to speak, and getting involved with a new person maybe when they shouldn't have been doing that. Like the Ace of Wands is the phallic symbol of the tarot deck, so it represents the male phallus, using it to be intimate, sexual energy, sex. Man. The final card here to clarify that Page of Cups, though, is the Star. This is the Aquarius Major Arcana card. This is a card of healing. It's a card of hope. Sometimes it's a card of wish fulfillment. In a love reading, sometimes this card can signify that you feel like this person is the one for you. It is also, though, card 17 of the Major Arcana. Card 16, the one that comes right before this in the sequence of the Major Arcana, is the Tower. So you don't ever make it to the star energy without going through a tower of some kind first, where some important thing in your life comes crashing down all around you. Sometimes the tower, when it collapses, it can be the collapse of the relationship. It can be the collapse and the shattering of a belief system that you had, like this mental model of the world you were operating from, and you believed things were one way, and then something like this happened and it shattered that belief of what you thought this connection was. You believed this was the one for you, and now what they've done has shattered that belief. That could be what the tower collapsing would represent. Not 100% sure. Take that however it resonates for you. All I know for sure is there has been a tower moment between the two of you, or the star wouldn't be here. This is the guy when the tower happens, and now everything that you thought has like collapsed around you, and nothing's the same as it was the day before. It's really hard to see your path moving forward from there. Well, this is the guiding light from the universe that shows up to light the way for you, to light that path so you can see your way moving forward. This is where hope comes from. It's where healing comes from. So a lot of times when I see this, it'll represent that you, even though things have come apart, you still have the hope that this can be healed, that we can that we can resurrect this and bring it back from the grave. And there's also this element of worrying about that in the background. There's, again, this Five of Wands in both decks affects you too. This Seven of Cups affects you, the options and choices and confusion, like your emotions are clouded, your judgment is clouded, maybe your vision is obscured and there's something that you can't see. All I know is that there's different ways this could work out for you, and you're not wanting to make a mistake. So it could be you worrying about whether or not this connection can be resurrected and put back together and healed. Could be you worrying about whether or not we should even attempt to do that. The final card in your energy here in this connection for May 2023 Aries is the Six of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. This is supposed to be a card of balance. This is generosity or reciprocity, like you scratch my back and I scratch your back. You take care of me and I take care of you. This is like balanced connection, equal give and take. So it can represent trying to balance the connection back out. On the negative end of things, this card can represent the merchant, meaning your person giving to two, as in giving to more than one person in the physical sense of things. Tell me about this Six of Pentacles, please. Why is that here? Why is that here for Aries in May 2023? Bottom of the deck, Four of Swords again. Libra energy, taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a break. This could be a break on the connection here. This could be you trying to go inside yourself to calm your mind down so that you can relax and so you can figure out what to do moving forward here. I think you're feeling incredibly overwhelmed. There's that Eight of Wands again, Sagittarius energy, second fastest energy in the deck. So I'm seeing a lot of speed, a lot coming at you all at one time. This was probably very spontaneous and abrupt, and it snuck up on you, and I'm guessing you didn't see it coming based on some of the other stuff I'm seeing now here. This can be rapid back and forth passionate communication, or it could just be too much happening all at one time. You've got Temperance right under that, the Sagittarius Major Arcana card. This is a card of patience. It's about, at its core, like blending two things together to make something new. But it's about doing it nice and slow, little bits at a time. It's not like we're going to take these two big giant buckets of stuff and dump it all together at once. This is doing it a little bit at a time, and then being willing to take a step back and look at the big picture to see how is all this working out before you come back in and make some fine-tuning adjustments to it. This is also sometimes a card of reconciliation, because in tarot, water represents love and emotions. And here the water, the love, has been separated into two different cups. And this angel is recombining it and trying to blend the love back together into one. I've seen several references now that would indicate you guys are apart. I think I see why you're apart, and I think I see that you're probably internally conflicted, because there is a piece of you that wants to heal this, that wants to resurrect it, that wants to reconcile this and blend the two of you back together. But then there is also another piece of you that has sadness and remorse and a sense of loss about this connection, and you're confused about what to do. Like, on both sides of this shared energies clarifiers, I have a person who knows exactly what they want and what they're worth and what they deserve, but then also pretty severe amount of confusion. So it's really hard to know exactly what you want and be confused at the same time, which is probably, again, why I'm seeing this internal conflict and why I'm seeing this energy that affects you of like back and forth about something. Like, it's probable that like on one day, if I ask you on a Monday, what do you think should happen in this connection? And you're probably like, yeah, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. This is done and over with. I'm passing my judgment on it. But then by Wednesday, I ask you, well, what do you think should happen in this relationship? And now you're probably going the opposite way. Yeah, I think we can heal this, and I would like to put it back together. At least that's what it's looking like. Now, when I clarify this Six of Pentacles, this energy of either balancing this back out or an energy of this person giving to two different people in the physical sense, I get the Six of Cups, the Moon, and the Six of Pentacles again. I have 3 sixes out here in your energy. Actually, the Lover's card, your very first card, is the 6 of the Major Arcana, which rules over the 6s of the 4 suits. I've got a lot of 6s out here. 6666. You may want to Google the angel number 6666 and see what that means and see if that has any relevance for your situation here. The Six of Cups is Scorpio energy. We've already seen this at some point. It's right here, 4 cards down in the overall energy of the whole reading. It's the card of the past, thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, the good old days, the way things used to be. Probably why there's this idea of trying to balance it back out, because there's probably a history of a connection between the two of you, a deep connection between the two of you. This can also, though, represent a person from the past making a comeback of some kind. And that could be why your person is giving to 2 people here. They could be giving to you and someone else from their past. Now, if that's what this is talking about, it doesn't have to be someone that they used to actually be with prior to you. That past is a relative term. Like, technically 2 seconds ago is the past. So this would indicate, much more so than like this is a person they used to be with, it would indicate a person that they have known for a period of time. Like, probably not a brand new person that they just bumped into at the bar one night and met for the first time, and then things kind of went from there. This is someone that they already knew. Next, I have the Moon. This is Pisces energy of fear, worry, and anxiety. Most of the time, that fear, worry, and anxiety is based on uncertainty. Like, when the moon's out, it's dark outside. It's really hard to see in front of you. It's hard to see the path moving forward. It's hard to even tell, am I on the correct path or not? Is this the path I'm even supposed to be on? Did I make a wrong turn somewhere? Should I turn around and go back? And just that level of uncertainty from not being able to see everything can cause a person to have fear and worry and anxiety. Another meaning to this card is like, when it's dark outside, some things aren't seen. Things can be hidden in the dark. This can represent illusions. This can represent secrets being kept here. Secrets being kept about a person from the past. Secrets being kept by this person who has one hell of a poker face and isn't really talking and expressing how they feel about something. Follow that row all the way over, and I get this energy of like, there's something going on that I don't know about. This can represent the intuition as well. This can represent like, I got this feeling something's going on with them. I can't read what's going on with them, but something's up, and now I got to figure out what that is. And that could start you off on this path of like snooping or trying to figure out what the hell's going on with them. Final clarifier for the Six of Pentacles is the Six of Pentacles again. That's the card I'm clarifying. Anytime I clarify a card and I get the same card in the clarifiers, that's the universe just beating me over the head to make sure I get it and can relay it to you. That there's either an energy here of trying to balance this out, but this much more at this point looks like, Well, I guess it could be uncertainty about whether or not we can balance this out. We've got this history together, but I'm still uncertain whether we can balance it out. But this is looking to me pretty much like we got somebody giving to two. Somebody who, even though they're in a connection with you, is giving to someone else that they already know at some point in time. And they're keeping the fact that they are giving to two people a secret. What just jumped off on the floor here? Seven of Swords just jumped off on the floor. Lying, deception, sneaking around behind your back, cheating type of an energy here. And again, that's sitting right beside the Ace of Wands, the phallic symbol of the deck. And if I follow that row over, there's nothing. There's a gap. There's a void here. That void ends. The energy before the void is this secret being kept, this giving to two. The only card on your side that has literally nothing beside it either direction is this hope that this can be healed. It's surrounded by emptiness here. That is your energy in this connection for May 2023. Let's scoot this over and get us some more room. Your person's energy, Aries. The Tower is their first card. Central to their energy is the Page of Swords. And their final card is the Devil. So not looking like a pleasant situation on their end whatsoever. The Tower, we've kind of already alluded to this when I told you about the Star. This is the card that comes before the Star, so you don't make it here without the Tower. I told you then what all that could mean. This could be some important structure collapsing in your person's life. This could be the collapse of the relationship between the two of you. This could be the collapse of a belief system here. This mental model of the world they were operating from comes apart. And now nothing's the same as it was the day before this. Tell me more about the Tower. Why is the Tower here for Aries romantic person of interest in May 2023? From the bottom of the deck, the Tower. Can't make this up. Like I said, anytime I'm clarifying a deck and I get the same card in the clarifier, it's the universe going, dude, how many times I got to tell you some shit fell apart here? Something bad happened. Some very abrupt shift took place. It was a foundation rocking event. It was a game changer here. Something important came apart. I have the King of Swords right under that. This is either Aquarius or Gemini energy. This is a decision maker. It's kind of the counterbalance to this King of Cups that I saw on your side of the table. This is also a decision maker, but this is someone who's very smart and logical and rational and reasonable. This is someone, though, who is very emotionally detached when they make their decisions. This is someone who throws their emotions out the window when it's time to decide things. They're not going to even consult their emotions when they make decisions here. This is someone who's only going to look at the truth and the facts of the matter and what can I see right in front of me, and I'm going to decide based on that and that alone. I don't care how I feel about it. I don't care how you feel about it. I'm going to do what I think is best. Very logical, emotionally detached, sometimes can feel like someone who's very cold and calculated and cunning. Making a decision about the Ten of Pentacles here, like the combining together of lives, making a decision either about like living together or the relationship itself, like you guys being physically combined together. Whatever their decision, was on that, it collapsed everything. When I clarify the Tower, I get the King of Wands, Seven of Wands, Nine of Wands. You're starting to see a pattern here. The Lovers. I got a lot of wands out here now, like a lot. On your side, the wands I have are you recognizing something. And the other wand I have is the phallic symbol of the deck, sexual energy, sex. Passionate new beginning being sparked up here. Now that I'm looking at this and taking into account the shared energy, I've got this internal conflict, which is wands twice. I've got this Knight of Wands, this player type energy, this in and out wishy-washy bullshit kind of an energy where I say I want something and I make it look like I'm taking actions on that, but then I back off and go a different direction, and then I come back and forth on it. I've got this person that I have all this passion and desire for, this attraction to, this probably sexual attraction to. And now I'm getting into 3 of the 4 clarifiers here are Wands cards. This King of Wands is the pinnacle of the Wands suit. This is someone who is very driven and motivated and knows exactly what he wants, and he's like a real go-getter. He's going to go out and get what he wants. He doesn't take no for an answer. He doesn't let obstacles get in his way and stop him. This is the kind of person that's going to get what he wants, because he's either going to find a way to get it or he's going to make a way to get it. It's the counterpart to this Queen of Wands energy out here. Not only is this a very driven and motivated in general kind of a person, like I said, it's the pinnacle of the Wand suit. So this is someone who's very driven and motivated by passion and desire and sexual energy. This a lot of times will be someone who's very charming and very like good looking and probably attractive, but has usually one hell of a sex drive. I've got the 7 of Wands next, more Wands. This is more Leo energy. I don't know if I told you or not, this is either Leo or Sagittarius energy. I feel like I've said Sagittarius quite a bit. I've said Leo several times. Let's see, what else have I said? Gemini a few times, Taurus a few times, Scorpio, Pisces. Got a little bit of Aquarius out here. And more Scorpio. You could be dealing with any of those signs, but literally you could be dealing with any sign. This is a general collective reading, so it's going to be almost impossible for me to pin down exactly who you are dealing with specifically, because I'm not tapping into your specific energy as an individual person the same way I would if I were doing a personal reading for you. I'm tapping into collective energy of thousands and thousands of Aries people right now. So I'm just going to keep calling out all the signs that stick out to me just in case they mean anything to you. But this is Leo energy of being defensive about something. This is either them defending their stance on something or defending their position on something, fighting off external energy that's coming at them. So sometimes this can represent defending against accusations of some kind. This could represent wanting to fight for something that they believe in, or fight for something that they have a lot of desire for. It could be wanting to fight for the connection, although I don't really see that. This, if anything, to me, this is like I've brought the tower down because of the wishy-washy stuff that I was doing, and maybe I've got some regrets about that, but I have options and choices here, and I'm wanting to defend my ability to kind of go down that passion-driven path is what this is looking like. Directly across the aisle from that is the moon. Secrets being kept. This could very easily be you felt something was off, someone told you something was off, you found something that was evidence of some kind, and you confronted them about it, and they lied and deflected that and like no, and defended themselves against your accusations about them having some secret. Nope, wasn't me. Wasn't me. Next I have the 9 of Wands. There's 2 cards in the deck about being walled off and defensive about something. Both of them here, right back to back. This is Sagittarius energy of being walled off and defensive. This is the wounded warrior though, and he's built this wall around himself as a way to protect himself from getting hurt. Sometimes this wall can just represent an obstacle that's in the way between the two of you, some like wall between the two of you. Sometimes this could indicate that they've been hurt here and they've walled themselves off as a way to protect themselves here and don't want to get hurt, like their defense mechanisms have been tripped off here. What I'm really seeing and feeling from them is defensiveness, like defending what it is that I want and my ability to get it, defending my secret across the aisle, defending my ability to give to 2 people physically, defending my ability to run back and forth between these 2 things that I have passion and desire for. Final clarifier for the tower is the Lovers. That was your very first card out here. Again, like I said, this has got jackbow shit to do with twin flames. This is about choices affecting the people that you're connected to, and we're all connected. But at its core, this card used to be called the choice. So at its core, it's about a choice, either in this love connection or it's a choice between two different lovers here. That looks to be where this whole tower came from. And again, I've got it in both decks here. And I knew it was coming as soon as I saw the star for you. Central to their energy is that Page of Swords, which again is already out here in your first column of cards. So now twice I've got what's in their first column and central to their energy. Both of those cards have showed up in your first column. Again, this is news and messages and communications. It's an energy of someone trying to learn something and figure something out. This could be something got discovered about them. Someone reported on them, what they were doing here. Tell me about this Page of Swords, please. It could be they're trying to figure out what to do now. Tell me about the Page of Swords. Why is that central to this person's energy? Bottom of the deck, Eight of Wands, Sagittarius energy. Very fast forward movement on something, very fast progress on something that there's passion and desire for. It can be rapid back and forth passionate communications happening. This could be a whole lot of energy happening all at once to where it's overwhelming. Your person could be overwhelmed and now I'm trying to figure out what to do. This could be they got discovered and uncovered and someone figured out that there was a lot of passionate communication back and forth with someone that they were engaged in. Four of Swords. Again, I'm feeling this like, oh, there's a pause, there's a break here in this connection, and there's a lot of fast forward movement either during this break or a lot of this fast forward movement caused a break to happen. Now this could be your person is overwhelmed and trying to figure out what to do here. While there is a break between the two of you, they're trying to calm their mind down and be less overwhelmed so they can figure out what to do. But I've got this Two of Swords behind it, Libra energy. Twos are decisions, choices. See the options and choices and confusion about what to do here. This is a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet. Now, sometimes it's because a person doesn't have enough information to decide, like hence the blindfold there. They can't see everything, so they don't know what to pick. Sometimes this is a case where a person, there's something they don't want to see. There's something they don't want to look at, which is why they haven't just taken the damn blindfold off. Like, really, why doesn't the lady lay a sword down, take the damn blindfold off, and then she can see what her options are and choose accordingly? But this is someone who's intentionally not doing that. Usually because there's something they don't want to see and don't want to look at, like they're in denial about something. There's definitely a choice that they have to figure out here and make, because I've got the Three of Swords right behind it. So we got escalating energy here going from the 2 to the 3. More Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. Now, that third energy is not always another person, and can be. And not only is it not always another person, when it is, it's not always romantic third party, although it definitely can be, and in this case looks like it. It could be like nosy friends or family members, you know, mom sticking her nose where it doesn't belong, co-workers sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. It could be geographic distance. I've seen a few cards that could indicate travel. This could be career getting in the way. I have seen King of Pentacles a couple of times, which would be someone who's probably involved in a business or running their own show, so to speak. It could be something like that. But this is feeling like third party. Now, when I clarify this Page of Swords, I get Temperance, Two of Cups, Five of Swords. I'm fighting off yawns. This has started in when I got about halfway through this column of cards for them. Like, this person feels like they're draining me. I'm not sure. I can't really tell the difference in whether they're drained and exhausted or if they're that type of a person that feels like they just suck it out of you. Temperance, again, we've seen this already. Sagittarius, Major Arcana card. Patience. It can also represent reconciliation, as in like recombining the love that's been separated into two different cups, blending it back together. They could be trying to figure out how to do that. Sometimes this is just an energy of someone who's trying to temper themselves, like there's something out of balance in them. It's out of whack, and they're trying to like restabilize everything and blend things back together to rebalance something. Next, I have the Two of Cups, which is Cancer energy. Again, twos are choices. This is a love connection between two people, but it's also a choice either about the love connection between the two of you, or a choice between more than one person. This is looking kind of like I'm really overwhelmed here. I moved really fast on something, probably during a break, and put myself in a spot where I had to choose and I didn't choose, and I brought somebody else into the connection and caused a heartbreaking thing. I do have this person that I had attraction for here, and an internal conflict and confusion about my options and what should I choose, and sadness and remorse about all the love that's been spilled out here. I also have an energy of being a player. And now I've got, like, I'm trying to figure out what to do about this, and can we blend it back together? Can we get this connection back? Or I'm not sure if this is them getting the connection back and trying to fight for the connection with you, or if this is them trying to defend themselves against accusations of having someone else, or fighting to make sure that they can keep their two options here. It's not looking good for them, because the final clarifier here is the Five of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. Fives are conflict. This could be a conflict in communications, like a big fight, a big argument. Words being used like weapons, tongues being used like a sword to cut each other. This can also represent a betrayal. This can represent, I've got two energies out here that can represent a betrayal. I've got an energy out here of someone who would engage in that kind of activity most of the time. This can be like a winning at all cost mentality. In other words, like, I'm going to get what I want, and if you get hurt in the process, well, tough shit for you. That's your problem, because I'm much more concerned with me getting what I want. At its core, this is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event here. I see beside it this Nine of Wands, so someone trying to wall themselves off from being hurt again, wall themselves off from something that's mentally and psychologically painful, wall themselves off from conflict. I'm not feeling good about that. Now, every once in a while, usually pretty rare, but I do see it sometimes, is that a person will get themselves into this position where they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, I got these two options here, and it doesn't really matter which one I pick. I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. And no matter what I choose, someone's going to get hurt, and I'm going to be the one to hurt them. And I don't want to be the one to hurt anybody, but it doesn't matter what I pick. I'm hurting somebody regardless. Even if I decide not to decide, somebody's still going to get hurt. It could be an element like that. And I would be all right with leaning that direction if it wasn't for this next card in their energy. We've got the Devil. This is Capricorn's major arcana card. This is heavy toxic energy. This is obsession. This is addiction. This is feeling trapped by something, like I can't escape something. Oh my God, it's happening again. This is a person who's got something deep down inside of them that they're not in control of. It's in control of them. This is an energy of control, but it's about something controlling another, something controlling a person, not them being in control of it. Whatever it is, it's something that they're afraid to face. They don't have the courage to face it and address it and deal with it. A lot of times this will be a piece of someone's shadow. And, you know, like, people don't choose to be in the devil energy typically. I guess there's a few people that do, but usually it comes from someone getting hurt at some point, some sort of a betrayal that happened to them, and some sort of problem that they had that they never addressed and they never dealt with and they never healed from properly. They just like ignored it and pretended like it didn't happen. They've repressed it and shoved it down in the shadows of themselves and acted like it wasn't there. Only it did happen, and it is there, and it's still trying to deliver a message to them, but they're just ignoring it. And that can cause unconscious behavior patterns, you know, things that like drive us and we don't even realize it's happening, and it controls our lives in some way. Let me clarify this devil here and find out what's going on. That this could also just represent some toxic type of an energy that this person has, that the connection with them is distorted because they are distorted. Tell me more about the devil, please. Why is the devil here for Aries romantic person of interest? Is that final card? On the bottom of the deck, King of Swords. Again, Aquarius or Gemini energy, decision maker, very logical, reasonable, conscious mind thinking type of an energy. This is not the person that wants his emotions. We're humans. We all have emotions whether we want them or not, but this is the person that so does not want them that he will ignore them and throw them out the window. I'm just now noticing all the way through their energy, the only cup that I had so far was this Two of Cups right in the center. Very, very little emotions, and it's so strange because that Two of Cups is tied to mental and psychological pain for this person. It's tied to pain that they wall themselves off from. Also, like, right beside the Two of Cups is this energy of fighting and defending against something. This person has some deep-seated issues related to love connections of some kind, whether that's family stuff or romantic stuff that they got hurt by in the past. They're still carrying with them sadness and remorse about the past, which is causing internal conflict and emotional confusion and options. This King of Swords is that kind of person that doesn't want to listen to the emotions. I'm going to decide based on what I can see right in front of me. Very emotionally detached kind of a person. Again, there's the Tower right behind that. The collapse of something. This really feels like someone who's rationalizing things. Like, I got this stuff going on inside of me that controls me. Like, we all do this on some level. Like the phone that I have was an incredibly expensive phone when I bought it. It was like $1,500, and I bought it because there was some impulse to do that. There was like an emotional response that I had where I gotta have that phone, so I bought that phone. And after the fact, I used my conscious mind and my logic and reason to come up with all these excuses as to why I had to get that phone, why it was a better phone, and that's why it cost more money, because it was better and it had a better camera and it had more storage space and a bigger screen, and all these logical, rational reasons on why I bought that particular phone, when in reality, it was something inside me that made me freaking buy it, and I'm just explaining it all away with my conscious mind. That's what this person really feels like right now. They did something stupid that caused the collapse of the tower, and they're explaining that in their mind and rationalizing that. Yeah, and underneath it all, there's still fear, worry, and anxiety, and something very mentally and psychologically painful and agonizing that they don't want to look at. I've got two energies right here of there's something going on inside of them under the surface that they refuse to face because they don't want to look at it. It's related to Ten of Pentacles. It's related to you guys having your lives combined together, or the overall concept of combining lives together and living together and being in a committed, like, we've built our lives together type of a thing. There's something negative tied to that for them. Definitely, there's that King of Pentacles again. Whatever this is going on under their surface, it's what ultimately propelled them to do the dumb thing that they did that collapsed this relationship. When I clarify the devil, I get the Two of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. Wow. That's pretty clear. Two of Wands, again, is a two. This is Aries energy of a fork in the road. It's a crossroads in their life, a crossroads in this relationship between the two of you. This is a decision point for your person, and it's a decision for them about what do I want my world to be like, and which of these two paths gets me to the world that I want, and which path do I have to leave behind to get there. This is that decision point that they had. I've seen the decision-making energy a couple of times, and I see that they made the bad decision that led to the Tower moment between the two of you. Next, I have the Page of Pentacles. This is news and messages and communications about some physical, tangible, real-world opportunity presenting itself. A lot of times for me, this will represent planning for the future, or being at that early stages of having a plan for the future. Like, at this point, I'm picking my path and I'm making my plan to go down the path. It looks like that plan was to be this Eight of Cups, this Pisces energy of detachment. This is emotional detachment, physical detachment, physically walking away. The person on the card's walking away from 8 full cups of love because they think there's something better out there for them, and they got to go off and find out if there is or not. It works perfectly with this Knight of Wands energy, this internal conflict kind of an energy of conflicted about moving forward in some other love connection, some physical opportunity that presents itself to do that, most likely with someone from their past, someone that they already know, someone that they have some level of sexual desire for, attraction to. This is the person who's got, like, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence syndrome. Like, I think it might be better over there, so I just got to walk away from this and go find out. Which is sitting right beside this energy of betrayal, sitting right beside this energy of being walled off. Final card to clarify the devil is the Ten of Wands. Sagittarius energy of a heavy burden being carried here. Now this is a 10, and in tarot, 10s are completions. This is supposed to be the completion of a heavy burden. In other words, the spot where the burden gets laid down and they move forward without the burden. So whatever this devil toxic energy is here that they don't want to face, they've got it linked up in their mind somehow that if I just detach and emotionally and walk away from this and go to the other side of the fence here, that will let me escape this burden that I'm carrying. And when I read these in rows, it works fine all the way until this last row, and then I've got the Lovers and a gap here, like an empty spot, and this burden here. So there's some sort of a burden that they have attached to the love connection between the two of you, some sort of a burden that they have attached to choosing between lovers, or there's a void here for them central to the whole thing that's mentally and psychologically painful. There's something missing in this person. They got something that's wired wrong internally here, and it's causing them to try to fill this void they have with something that can never fill it. Now, if you still have questions about this situation or this relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Aries love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.